New Dudley Unite aluminum riser PSE. I bet you want to know what this does. Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com talking about the PSE Unite aluminum riser bow. We ordered this months ago and our first ones just came in tail end of last week. So it's our first chance we've had to actually check one out. Haven't done anything with it other than put a rest on it, a loop on it. These bows are coming in with a 6.5 inch brace height and a 32.25 axle to axle. 4.8 pounds. They're available in 60 pound, 70 pound, or 80 pound, and 343 foot per second rating. This is the E2 cam that we're testing. Let's measure some of this stuff and see what it comes out at. All right. Our axle to axle. Here we go. So first off, axle to axle is 32.25. And this is measuring out more like 32.5. Amount of reflex in the riser. Go to here. Looks like about probably 2.5 reflex. Might even be a little shorter if you take the grip off, so not too bad. Overall riser length. Putting you like 26 and 3, I'll give it 27. 27 overall riser length. See what our physical weight ends up at. It's 5.0. Can you see that? 4.9, 5.0. There you go. So that is within the realm if you consider the arrow rest being removed. This does have a new Picatinny mount, which is nice for putting that front mounted sight stuff. And the other really cool thing that they added to these bows, they're not terribly different than what they were making before, but they did drill and tap the back of the riser. You probably can't see it because the arrow rest is in the way, for the hamski bracket. So you can actually bolt a hamski directly onto the rear of this bow. It's one of the first ones that you can actually do that to, which I love that rest, so it's super exciting for me. On an Epsilon. Let's see how many pounds we got here. 69.5, that'll be a good test. Let's run some arrows through it and see how it feels. All right, first thoughts on the cycle and the vibration on the PSE Unite E2 cam. Draw cycle is relatively smooth, just like their other ones. I mean, that cam system's actually pretty darn nice. So the initial vibration is very minimal, but it does hang around for a while. Like I was feeling the riser just kind of shaking a little bit for 2 seconds, somewhere around there. But it's very minimal. And mind you, vibration is, it's usually an explanation of how efficient a bow is. So a lot of people will say, well, it doesn't matter if a bow riser vibrates. And I understand that. No, technically it doesn't. But if it's transferring energy efficiently and all the energy is getting into the arrow, you won't feel as much vibration. So when you're judging vibration, be aware that that bow's probably not transferring energy as efficiently as it could. So that's kind of why I do point it out. Yeah, these cams always do feel a little on the hard side, but you're also getting a lot of speed for it, and that's part of where it's coming from. Yeah, like the bow doesn't jump at all. It just has a little hum to the riser. It's not bad. All in all, it's really not a bad bow on that feel. Will be interesting to see if we can get close to the speed published, because that's a pretty fast speed for a 6.5 inch brace height bow. Yeah, like I said, no forward movement, which is good, but there's just a tiny little bit of vibration. But let's set the chrono up and see how fast it is. All right. Chronograph speed on a PSE Unite E2, 70 pounds, 30 inches, 350 grain arrows. Looking for 343 foot a second. 337, that is smoking. Now that one is missing a vein, folks, so it's probably a little faster because of that, but let's shoot these other two. 327, that's a little more like it. It's about what I would expect out of this bow based off of the other ones that we've tried. Every one of their bows that we've tried this year has been somewhere between like 13 and 16 feet off. Now, understand most bows are between 4 and 10 feet slow. Like 4, I think, is the best one I've seen this year. So it's not a really fair thing to say they're that far off, but they are definitely, they were on the high side every time we tested them of being off on speed. 334, so that's quite a bit of variance that we're still getting. Let me shoot a couple more and just make sure we got a good average. I'm going to not shoot that one because it's missing a vein, so I'll reshoot these two. Okay. .333. 333 from 343. That's good for the other ones we've compared. Duplicate. So we'll call it 333, which is only 10 feet off. So that makes this one the closest one that we've tested yet, which is pretty impressive. At $11.99, it's right there with most average bows. I want to say most of your average high-end bows or flagship bows are running between 11 and 14 now, so it's hard to give too much of a fair comparison, but all in all, this does have a few more features. The velocity is really good. The specs were real close. I mean, it's definitely one to consider in the lineup. Like, there's a little bit of residual vibration, but it's not a lot, and you could probably put a shock absorber or two on there to absorb it out and make it dissipate quicker. So all in all, this is a pretty impressive bow. Head on over to podiumarchery.com for all your archery needs, other than this, because we're not allowed to sell them online. Although we do have some of the target bows from guys online that we're allowed to sell. Maybe there's some accessories you need, might have that for you, or not. Comment down below, let me know what you think of these videos. They did put the new clips in here too for changing the tune, which is a really cool feature that PSE added this year. And yes, we did take them out and put them back in without putting it in a press, even though I made a comment in a video about that. And they said, oh, you're not going to do that, it's dangerous. And it actually is pretty easy to do it without pressing it, do it, just so you know. Got some giveaways coming. First one should be coming up here pretty quick, so make sure to follow on the Instagram because that's where we're going to talk about it, and that's where we're going to let you know if you won something or not, and then we'll give you some options from there. So thanks for following.